You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome back. So, there's just a flood of information coming at us constantly.
It really is a lot. Hard to know what's actually important sometimes.
Exactly. Our goal here is to kind of sift through it for you, pull out the key things.
Right, get you the essentials without the overload.
And today, we've got some really interesting sources. We're looking at AI and content, some pretty bold takes on software development and cloud security, too.
Yeah, quite a mix. Should spark some thoughts, hopefully.
Okay, so first up, AI. This is huge for anyone creating content online, right? How do you stop AI models just gobbling up your work for training?
Or even better, how do you actually get compensated if they do use it?
Yes. So what are we seeing there?
Well, Cloudflare's got some new stuff that's pretty interesting. Things like a managed robots.txt file.
Okay.
And, just an option to block AI crawlers if you're running ads. Simple enough.
Right. Basic blocking. But you said interesting.
Yeah, the really fascinating part is what they call a pay-per-crawl system.
Pay-per-crawl. How does that even work?
They're proposing using HTTP status code 402.
402.
Yeah.
Payment required. Isn't that like almost never used? Experimental?
Exactly. That's the clever bit. It's experimental, but they're pushing it as a way for websites to automatically signal, hey, AI crawler, you need to pay up to access this.
Huh. So a machine-readable price tag, essentially.
Pretty much. It's a way to set terms, not just block access.
It feels like a big deal, but, is it practical now? Will AI companies actually pay?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's definitely setting a precedent. Cloudflare has clout, so them pushing it matters.
Right.
It might take time for widespread adoption, but it's laying down tracks for a future where creators could monetize their data directly from AI usage.
So it gives creators more agency, more control in this whole AI wave.
Exactly. You're not just saying no, you're potentially saying yes, but here are the terms. That's powerful.
Okay, let's switch gears. Software development. Some provocative ideas came up in our sources here. This one really jumped out at me. The idea that maybe, just maybe, you should delete some of your tests.
Yeah, that sounds completely backwards at first, right? Tests are supposed to build confidence.
Totally. That's the whole point.
But sometimes they do the opposite. You get those flaky tests. The ones that pass sometimes, fail other times for no obvious reason.
Yes. Nightmare. Or the brittle ones that break every time you refactor the tiniest thing.
Exactly. Those tests actually reduce confidence because they're just noise. False alarms.
So the argument is, ditch the noisy ones.
Yeah. Get rid of tests that are flaky, outdated, or brittle. Only keep or replace them with tests that genuinely verify current important behavior. Clean up the test suite so it's actually useful.
Makes sense when you put it like that. Focus on quality, not just quantity of tests.
Precisely.
And related to that, another kind of counterintuitive claim. Writing code was never the bottleneck.
Right. That one also makes you stop and think.
If writing code isn't the slow part, what is?
Well, think about all the other stuff that takes time. Lengthy code reviews, right?
Oh, yeah. Days sometimes.
Debugging complex problems that maybe shouldn't have existed. Sharing knowledge so everyone's on the same page. Just coordinating teams.
All the human interaction parts.
Exactly. Those have always been the real-time syncs. And interestingly, even with large language models helping write code faster.
Yeah. You'd think that solves it.
Not necessarily. It can actually increase the burden on the human side. Now you have more code, maybe code you didn't write yourself, that needs understanding, verification, maintenance.
So faster code generation just shifts the bottleneck.
Sort of. It makes the human parts collaboration, shared understanding, good reviews even more critical than before. We need to optimize how people work together, not just how fast code gets typed.
That's a really powerful insight. Focus on the human workflows. Okay, one last area. Cloud security.
Right, strengthening those defenses.
Our sources point to a specific strategy here. What's that about?
It's about defense in depth, specifically using IAM deny policies in Google Cloud.
IAM deny. So identity and access management. Deny. What does that do?
It's basically a powerful no. It lets organizations set rules that explicitly forbid certain actions, and these rules override any allow permissions someone might have.
Okay, so even if I have admin rights, a deny policy could stop me from, say, deleting a specific critical resource.
Exactly that. It's a really strong way to enforce least privilege.
Least privilege, the idea that you only get the absolute minimum permissions you need.
Precisely. Deny policies help centralize control over really sensitive permissions. You define what should never happen, period.
And this works well with other tools.
Oh, yeah. You'd use it with things like Policy Simulator to, test the impact before you apply the rules.
Makes sense. Avoid locking yourself out.
Right. And with tools like Terraform to manage and apply these policies consistently across your infrastructure.
So for anyone managing cloud stuff, this sounds like a pretty crucial tool for tightening security.
Definitely. It does require careful planning. You don't want to break things by accident.
Sure.
But it's often more about a mindset shift, really committing to least privilege from the top down rather than just allowing broadly and hoping for the best. It gives you that explicit, firm control.
Got it. A robust, just say no button for the cloud.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, so we've touched on AI's hunger for content, challenging some core software dev ideas, and beefing up cloud security. Quite the range.
Yeah, and what strikes me is how all these different areas point towards the same thing, really.
Which is
Just the constant need to learn and adapt. Technology isn't standing still in any of these areas.
That's very true. The ground is always shifting.
So maybe the question for you, the listener, is something like, in this environment, are your strategies keeping pace?
Right. Are you adapting fast enough? Or are you kind of holding on to older ways of thinking, older approaches that might actually be holding you back now?
Yeah, definitely something to mull over.
Indeed. Food for thought until our next discussion.
Spoken Tech for your ears.